In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create realistic hair texture using graphite pencils. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Julieta. I am an international portrait artist. I'm originally from Argentina. And in this video today, I am going to show you the techniques that I use in order to create realistic looking hair with graphite pencils. As you can see, this is a portrait that I had already started in our previous video, in which I'm going to show you how to create shading with graphite pencils. So I would really suggest for you to check that one out first, and then this one in order to see how to create realistic looking hair. So I hope you stay tuned and I hope you enjoy this video. So in the second part of this tutorial, we're going to cover how to create realistic looking hair. In this case, I am beginning by applying a little bit of charcoal with a charcoal stick, and I'm going to make it all smooth by using a dry brush. And I'm also kind of going up in some areas where I had used a charcoal pencil to create the darker areas. But in this case, in the example, we're going to use the bottom of her head just to show you how it all starts. And to make the surface even smoother looking, we are going to apply a Q-tip. And this way, we're going to achieve a much smoother looking surface. Now we're going to move on to the charcoal pencil. In this case, I believe it is, it's a medium pencil. And we are going to trace these lines that are darker. This is one of the first steps we're going to apply. We're going to do after applying the uniform layer. And as you keep applying some of these lines that are darker, that's something that will help with the texture. Those are the deepest parts of the hair. And after that, we are going to use our Monozero Eraser. And this is something that will help give that look of highlights on the hair. We're going to do a little bit underneath right there. And the thinner you make them, the more realistic the hair is going to look. Now we are smoothing out with the Tortillion the traces that we did before with the charcoal pencil. And remember to follow the same direction as where the hair is going. Everything has to follow a continuum. In the bottom, this is the part of the hair that is actually down versus all the other hair that was up. So here we're going down, and you can see how they're kind of intertwined. You're crossing hairs that are overlapping over others. There's hair that is behind. And it's always a good idea to just keep going back to what you have done before. Because like I said, the more detail you apply, the more realistic the hair is going to look. And the finer the lines, also the more you're helping more with the realistic look. And as you can see, this is the process that I follow. First I do the lines with the charcoal pencil, and then I move on with the Tortillion. I know some people don't really do this step, but I believe that this is something that helps with the overall realistic look. And at this point, what we're starting to do, after we lay some sort of foundation, now I'm like putting the camera a little further away so you can actually see the whole thing, all the hair. And everything that I have done that was already done from before, I did it using this exact same technique that I'm explaining to you right now. First lay an overall uniform foundation with a charcoal stick, then smooth it out, and then you're going to go in and apply all these details. Here I am still, even though I did it already, it's always a good idea to just keep going back, take a good look, take some distance and look at the whole picture, see what needs to be done. And the more darker areas you apply for depth, the more of a 3D effect is going to give the overall picture. Right there, as you can see, this charcoal pencil is hard, because at this point it doesn't really matter when you're using like for broader dark areas. You can use either one, either medium or hard. And it's always a good idea also to be specific and go to tiny, tiny, tiny areas of the hair, just like that don't seem to be much, but in the big picture, they're going to make a huge difference as far as like making it look realistic. So as you can see, we're still working on the darks. It's also a good idea to try to keep your pencils as sharpened as possible. I know there are moments that my pencil is not really very sharpened, but that's always a good thing to help with the fine lines. Here I'm going back with my dry brush to make the surfaces smooth, and as you can see, since they're broader areas, I don't need to use a tortillion. I just use a regular brush because these are broader areas versus a tiny line that needs to be very specific. Now we go back to our Monozero Eraser, and this is a very good tool to give that thin trace of that highlight effect. And right now I'm also, since the background is almost done as far as the hair, we're going to work on some flyaway hairs. And this is always a very nice touch, a very nice technique to add to the overall natural look that we're trying to achieve. And you don't want them to stick out way too much, so it's always a good idea to kind of blend them in. Just do a few strokes of the brush to take away some of the super whiteness. There we're working on the highlights of her hair. And it's always a good idea to apply your hand. Don't press too hard, and always the moment that you take it off the paper, just do it like not in a hard way. Just very lightly take it off the paper. Take your hand off the paper, or in this case the Monozero. And we are continuing with the flyaway hairs. In this case I used a graphite sharpened pencil, so the hairs can be as thin as possible, but you can still see that effect. Now we go back to our tortillion for some strands of hair that are a little bit thicker than just regular flyaways, combined with the ones that are very thin. And it's a really cool effect when you can make it look kind of like effortless or kind of like messy hair. It's very, very nice. It gives it that natural look. So as you can see, now we start playing with the values. We start combining the super darks with the lighter ones, and all of them together are going to help with the overall natural look and feel of the composition. And you can pretty much keep going until you feel like you're satisfied with the result that you have achieved. And as you can see, these are the main techniques that we're using for doing this. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And once again, please write any comments or any questions that you may have down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if there's anything else you're interested in learning about the techniques, or any remarks, or whatever you want to share with me, or anything else that comes up to mind. And don't forget to subscribe if you feel led to, for more videos like this and with the other materials that I use. And do not forget to check out my website. Here's the link for you to go right in and get my free tutorial on how to draw a realistic looking portrait. And it's pretty extensive, so you're going to get all the tips that you need. And I'm so happy you joined me today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.